Hello, welcome back to the first SwansCast match preview of the season, of the 2023-24 season. And I am joined by Sam from the Blues Focus podcast. He's going to introduce himself in a minute, ahead of Swansea against Birmingham, the first game of the season for both clubs, which will take place on Saturday, the 5th of August. So season's come around fast, Sam. And thank you for joining me. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. So, I'm Sam. I do some work for Blues Focus and, do some bits and bobs on Twitter, really. And, great to be here and excited for the new season starting.
Yeah, I'm excited too. A lot of change at Swansea with the new manager. So I just kind of want to know, aside from transfers, we'll get to that in a second, but has there been any changes at your club over the summer? I actually saw some news might have dropped today that maybe you want to mention. So.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of change really at Birmingham, more change than we've seen in the past decade, really, with the new regime coming in, new owner Tom Wagner as part of Knighthead Capital, who's invested in the club a 45% stake, which is, well, a majority stake because the rest of it is taking a backseat. And it's been some really good changes around the club. I mean, you've seen the news today about Tom Brady now becoming an investor at Birmingham, which is something that, exactly. Like I woke up to it this morning and I thought, am I seeing things here? Like this doesn't happen to our club really.
Yeah.
But there was like some fans that picked up on the fact that Brady had already invested with Tom Wagner in some previous ventures. So it was a possibility, but the fact that it's happened so soon after the takeover, it's something that's just took a lot of fans back by surprise, really.
I guess it's good news. And I mean, I don't think it's perhaps the same as the Wrexham story, but that's gone well. You've got a big name in Ryan Reynolds getting involved there. I guess you want to be hoping something similar comes from it. But yeah, it sounds like an interesting summer for you guys. You're definitely sounding upbeat and positive. So has that sort of continued when it comes to the players then? Have you had any notable ins and outs in the club?
I mean, we've had a lot more in the door as opposed to out the door because in terms of like transfers that are permanent, I mean, all the signings we've made so far have actually been permanent transfers, which is a real change for Birmingham because we're so used to sort of having to look around the loan market or the free agent market to balance the books or whatever with trying to sort of sell off our best asset. But this season's been a little bit different with the fact that we've actually had money to spend because of the takeover. And it's been little sort of clever piece of business here and there with players that are young in age that are being brought in through the door. The likes of Ethan Laird and Lee Buchanan, fullbacks that have been brought in for just around £1 million, who are still like young in age. They're both 21 with a lot to prove. Also, the forward line, you've got Tyler Roberts, who's signed for around £500,000, a player that has already been promoted from the Championship, that has a lot of experience and also still young with a lot to prove, and also keeping some players that we had on loan last season. So we signed Christian Bielik and Dion Sanderson, who were at the club last season on loan, that are now joined permanently. So in terms of how the fan base is feeling, there's a lot to be positive about through bodies in the door. But I suppose out the door, the most notable exit is Teef Chong, who went to Luton Town for a fee of around £5 million, which is a big move for us, I guess, because we bought him in for around £2 million, sold him on for £5 million. So it's a decent bit of profit. And Joe Bellingham's also gone to Sunderland, the brother of Jude. And a lot of the academy talent that was at Birmingham have gone to Sunderland because the regime that was at Birmingham previously, a lot of the people that work there now work for Sunderland. So like outsiders perhaps like might not know that, but that's why he's gone to Sunderland. And I'd say, I'm still positive about the season and the signings we brought in. So lots to be positive about.
I guess that gives a little bit of context to why there might be a lot of people going in the same direction then. But you mentioned Ethan Laird and Lee Buchanan. We know all about one of them and we heard a lot about the other. We were linked obviously with Buchanan and he ended up going to yourselves, which we were not disappointed at the fact that he joined you, but we're desperate for a left back. So to hear that news when it broke, we were like gutted. Still searching down here for that position to be covered.
Yeah, I've heard that you linked with Pedersen, I think, who used to play for us, actually. I don't know if that one's
I'm not sure how much is in that. I have seen his name floated around, but it comes and goes. I don't know where we are with it. It would be nice to see somebody come in, so especially with some experience at the level. We haven't got anyone really at the moment. And we've got players that play at right back that can play left back, but not a specialised one. And Ethan Laird obviously had half a season at Swansea, so we know all about him. Definitely think he should have won a few penalties this time of year, but ultimately all of them got pushed away by the referees. So definitely excited player. Obviously got a year and a half, I think, or 2 years, maybe more experience than when we had him. So it'll be interesting to see where he's at now. And you said you signed him on a permanent transfer, was it?
Yeah, permanent transfer from Man United. Yeah.
Yeah. So how much was he?
So that was around £1 million, I think.
I'd imagine there's some Swans fans sitting here right now questioning why we hadn't gone in for that sort of fee, with wing backs both sides of the season being a priority. So we don't know the details of why he got recalled when he left us, because he got recalled and got shipped off to Bournemouth for the second half.
Yes.
I'm surprised to see him kind of moved on permanently for that sort of fee a year later, I guess. But one of them that got away, maybe. But I'm sure he'll probably go and score against us now on the weekend.
Maybe.
Okay, so what style of play do you expect to see from Birmingham? Especially in this game, I guess, or maybe if you're consistent with it, just what are you looking to do this season?
Yeah, so in terms of style of play, I mean, what Birmingham fans have been used to for a very long time is having to sort of be comfortable without the ball and soak up the pressure and hit teams on the counter because of, I guess, the restricted sort of resources that we had. It forced us to play a certain way. But the fact that, we've made some really positive transfers in the window, as you've mentioned, bringing in Ethan Laird and Lee Buchanan, sort of very capable wing backs that can look to hurt teams like out wide. And I think next season we'll be looking to play with sort of a three at the back formation with two wing backs bombing on forward. And I think with this system, there is going to be a lot of sort of attacking football out wide and getting it into those areas. And I think a key place that we're focusing on is trying to sort of keep the ball a bit more in midfield and ball retention. So I think this season we'll be looking to play with a bit more possession. So sort of attacking football that's a bit more patient, but then you've also got those options out wide.
Yeah. Your manager's still John Eustace, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so we were obviously looking at him before he went to you guys as well. So with our kind of play style being more of a passing approach, I'd imagine if he's now getting the players in, maybe that is something that he wants to do, which is why we would have been looking at him. So it'd be interesting to see how he can develop that side of his philosophy, obviously with Birmingham, and from a Swansea fan perspective, see how it could have happened here if he had got the job here when we did go in for him. Well, by all accounts, he turned us down because he wanted to stay as QPR's assistant. I think he joined you guys not so long after. But it's nice to see that he's doing a decent job there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what key players then? Actually, I've missed a step here. Before we get to the key players, I was going to ask if you can maybe tell us what your expected lineup is going to be.
Well, I think the starting lineup, it all depends on who's back from injury or not, because there have been a couple absentees throughout pre-season. Notable ones being George Hall, who was one of our attacking young players, really good talent. And he's someone that would play like sort of either on the centre mid of midfield or out wide. And also Koji Miyoshi, a Japanese player that we signed, who didn't feature that much in pre-season, but did sort of pick up a little knock in the game that he did play. And those are two players that would be very capable of playing out wide. So I think with the players that we've got injured out at the moment, it will be more of a sort of narrow formation with those wing backs, as opposed to sort of four at the back with wingers. So I could maybe see like a three at the back system, two wing backs, and then two men up front with three sort of in the middle. So yeah, that'd be the formation that I'd expect to see us play on Saturday.
And out of that formation, what key players would you say Swansea should be watching out for?
So I'd say key players. One player that's really caught my eye during pre-season is actually a Welsh player, Jordan James, who has shone for Birmingham in pre-season. He's come through our academy and is attracting a lot of Premier League interest actually, and someone that we won't really be looking to sell on because of the sort of financial situation we're in now, and the fact that we want to keep hold of these young talents that have a lot more to prove at the club, and we could send them on for a bit more in a couple of years' time. And Jordan James is a really exciting player as a centre midfielder. Someone that I think the Welsh fans will be keeping a keen eye on for the future, and someone that could definitely represent his country and be like a key figure in the future. So I'd say Jordan James for one, and another one is probably centre midfield partner Juninho Bacuna. I think he's a really tidy player on the ball, and what I said earlier about us trying to sort of keep the ball and ball retention in the midfield, he's someone that has real good quality with the ball at his feet. So if you sort of stifle that midfield, then I reckon Swansea got a good chance of winning on Saturday.
So Jordan James, obviously 19-year-old, broken into your midfield quite a young age. So that's obviously exciting for you.
Yeah,
He has actually made 2 appearances for Wales so far. So
yeah.
I'm sure he'll have a successful career ahead of him, especially if you're saying his touted Premier League interest. So at the age of 19, who knows where it could go, I guess. Good luck to him. And what about Swansea players then, from a Birmingham fan as yourself? Who worries you from the Swansea City squad that could be on the pitch then?
So I'd say, yeah, in terms of the Swansea players that worry me, obviously the most notable one is Joel Peru, like with his goal scoring record last season. You know,
Yeah.
it's a fantastic talent. I think there's questions to be asked whether he fits into Michael Duff's new system. I've heard a couple of people mention Swansea and the fact that maybe because Michael Duff's sort of style of football is a bit more direct, is Peru going to benefit from that? But obviously, that's something that you'll know a lot more than I will. So I'm
I
sure you
think
could answer
so.
that question.
Yeah, I would say he's more of a, like last season, I don't think he gave his best season, but he still got 20 goals because he can finish. So if you're just
Mm,
going to give him more chances, and in theory, he's going to just score more goals. So if you're going to be more direct, you'd like to think you're going to make more better chances, isn't it? That's the whole idea of it. So you'd like to think it's going to suit him. He
yeah.
has had a productive preseason where he scored quite a few goals. So he's got 2 in the last game where we played Reading in the last game before we kick off the season. So the big question for us is really whether he'll still be here come the end of the transfer window. But
Mm,
by all accounts, it looks like he will be here for this weekend. So I
yeah.
would expect him to start unless there's a bid and then they don't play him because of potential injury and stuff.
Mm,
So, and then whether he is, giving 100% before the transfer deadline day himself because of maybe a potential move. We'll see
Doesn't
what
want to
Peru
like risk an
turns up.
injury or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. There's been a couple of maybe in the friendly games. Have been a couple of times where you think he's maybe shying out of challenges.
Right.
So
Yeah.
depends if I don't know if we get the proper Joe Peru's gonna try his hardest, and
Mm,
definitely you're right to say he probably is the one to watch.
yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for that. I got one more question to end on. A little bit
Sure.
of a different thing, not football related. I'm going to try and keep this consistent across all of the pre-matches. So, what's your favourite pint or drink, I guess, if you don't drink alcohol, to drink at the stadium when you go to a football match?
Well, I mean, at Birmingham, you don't really have much choice inside the ground. Put it that way.
Well,
It's either a San Miguel or Carling. That's it.
any away days that you've gone to that you've had the best one. I mean, what would be your choice?
I'd say actually Millwall away. That's always a good away day for Birmingham fans. I think there's a bit of hostility between Birmingham and Millwall. There always has been, and yeah, it dates back many years. So whenever Birmingham and Millwall play each other, it's always a good away day. And going in the London pubs beforehand, having a Camden Hells, I think is a
There
good
we are.
pint. And yeah, had a few of them last time Blues played Millwall, and last time I went, it was a 3-1 defeat, but we scored probably the best goal that we scored all season. It was a lovely passing move finished by Troy Deeney, where he just wellied it into the top corner. But besides from that, it was a pretty miserable day out. But
Well, you had your favourite pint and you had the best goal of the season, so
yeah,
could
yeah,
have been worse, I
exactly.
guess. But
Exactly.
never nice on an away day when you're heading back after a defeat, though, and know all about that. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, too
thank you
many
very
times.
much. Thank you very much, Sam, for jumping on. If you want to
No
remind
worries.
everyone where they can find your content online.
Sure. So yeah, this season I'm working as part of Blues Focus. You can find us on Twitter and YouTube, and I do bits and bobs on Twitter as well. You can find me at Sam Sheppy to see what's happening with Birmingham this season. And yeah, best of luck to Swansea this season, and hopefully it's a good season for you guys.
And same to you after Saturday, of course. But
I don't think
yeah,
there'll be
no,
as many
good.
goals as the last game. Put it that
Well,
way.
being 0-0 now, a really boring game.
Yeah,
We're both
exactly.
talking up our
Everyone's
new
hyping it up.
attacking style, and it'll be like a bore draw. So that'll be the
Yeah, yeah.
standard outcome. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I'll be sure to link the podcast and yourselves when I do
Brilliant.
put the video up. And yeah, good luck for the season and enjoy. I guess. Hopefully it goes as positive as what you've been, what you feel like it's going to be anyway. And
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
way is
Thank
up,
you
I
very much.
guess. But yeah, thank you,
Exactly,
and
exactly.
maybe catch you in the reverse fixture later in the season.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Okay, thank you very much, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks everyone for listening. As always, leave a comment below what you think the score is going to be, and maybe what you think of the fact that Swans potentially have missed out on the opportunity to sign someone like Ethan Laird, who we we did have a brief stint with. Do you think that's somebody we should have been with, or do you never go back to past players? Let us know in the comments below, and we shall see you in the next video. So thank you very much for watching.